throughout soul health, you emphasize that our optimal or radiant health leads to our soul's evolution.
Okay. Just like a tree, when there's nothing in the way of a tree's growth, it flourishes. And I think from our consciousness, from our conscious awareness, the soul health model, I think, provides the blueprint to understanding how to evolve most radiantly. Meaning that if we consciously learn how to balance each one of those branches, each one of those 10 branches, and we balance our lives, then we have the optimal process for growing. There's nothing in our way. And the more, there's really, our soul's evolution is infinite as far as I'm concerned. You know, our bodies have slowed down as far as what we're evolving into or out of. But that radiance is really infinite. There's no stopping, there's no cap, there's no ceiling to that. So really it's about getting everything out of the way and filling everything out, nourishing our growth that will allow us to evolve the most.
And so, is that what you mean by conscious evolution?
Yes. Staying as conscious and aware of when something's off kilter. So going back to that screen door, we automatically know when something's off center. Again, we may not always automatically know what that is. But once we consciously stop to say, what's not feeling right, and really assess, we can realign that, and then our growth glides and continues. There's nothing getting in the way of our own evolution. So the consciousness piece of that is being constantly aware of when we need to realign, when something's off, when something needs to be realigned. And then the key is that realignment. Once we align, we can just keep going. But our human condition isn't very kind to us at times, and so sometimes we have to get off track in order to get back on track. And frankly, I also think that those are the times when we grow the most, is when we consciously know, oh gosh, I'm off track. This is what I need to do this time to get on track. So I also, even though the human condition can be pretty nasty to us, I also embrace it as one of our best forms of growth. But being conscious enough to realize this isn't being done to me, it's being done for me to grow. That's what helps us really nourish ourselves enough to flourish and evolve.
Could you say a little bit more about that, about the how to look at the human condition as a positive aspect of growth, of evolution?
Absolutely. And you know, everybody has tough things that happen in life. I would love to know one person in life that has never had something tough happen. But it's all in how you look at that tough situation. It's the meaning you put into it. It's the learning. It's the connecting of dots of, gosh, this happened to me. Am I going to be victimized by it? Or am I going to step back and look at it as, how can I grow from this? And when you step back through that conscious evolution, step back and say, how can this help me? Rather than thinking that it's something, again, being done to us. You know, the human condition, very complicated, very challenging, but at the same time, it's vibrant. It's full of lessons. It's full of opportunities. It's full of obstacles that basically, if we overcome them, we triumph, we move on. So even in the worst of times, I know when my father died when I was 21, it was one of the toughest things, of course, I went through. But I also, over time, realized that his passing helped me to live more. And once I became conscious enough to realize that I didn't want to live with regret. I didn't want to live with, I think, some of the regrets he had. And that forced me into a new form of growth so that I embrace as much as I can in life, even the toughest situations. I step back and say, yes, this is tough, however, what can I learn from? And then it feels like something's being given to you rather than something's being taken away from you. And to me, life is for receiving rather than feeling like we're constantly being taken away from. So it's all in the perception.
So, and part of that perception would be around realizing that maybe you have a choice in how you respond?
Absolutely. And that's where the consciousness is. You know, if we're victimized by something, we don't realize we have choice. But if we are consciously evolving, we realize at any given second we've got a choice to either succumb to the human condition or overcome the human condition. So yes, absolutely, it's choice, it's awareness, it's realizing that we can create our own experience. It's all in our perception.
Mm-hmm.